There are a number of equity and access issues present in this landscape of generative AI. One of those involves the cost of using these tools, and that could be the cost to purchase premium tools that you need for a class. Not everybody can afford that, and that creates disparities. Additionally, the cost of specific hardware, the cost of other additional software, or even having the appropriate network and bandwidth on devices can create huge disparities in the ability to do what you need to do with these tools. The policies around student use of these tools vary so much, where some faculty might say it is absolutely forbidden, where other faculty might encourage or even require its use. And this is inconsistent across instructor, department, college, and campus. This can create and is creating an incredibly confusing landscape of rules and expectations that students are expected to navigate, and that doesn't feel fair. Another issue around equity and access is the knowledge of these systems that you are bringing to the table here at the university. That if you've already had an experience with using generative AI tools in high school or middle school or in jobs, you might be at a different level than some of your peers, whether that was through formal or informal learning experiences. And you may already know a lot of the prompt literacy frameworks and to understand how to appropriately prompt these systems, as well as how to evaluate if you should choose these systems or not. For students where English is not your first language, you are facing a lot of issues around false positives if an instructor were to run your work through an AI checker. Now, these are not great or reliable right now. It routinely flags writing by multilingual students as AI generated because it closely matches the statistical patterns of generative AI. And that's not okay. When we're talking about accessibility concerns and access and equity, the chat interfaces of generative AI are generally visual outputs. So they lack proper alt text formatting, keyboard navigation, and compatibility with screen readers, which create barriers for blind and low vision students. And then this over reliance on visual modalities is incredibly challenging because it might neglect accessible text-based alternatives for users. Again, there are a number of access and equity issues present in generative AI that it's important to be aware of.